the 17-year-old.
Right.
Allegedly, he struck him at least a dozen times and then brandished a gun to the 17-year-old. I'm sure he's mentoring him, and they were playing some sort of pickup basketball at his house, okay? And then we had the incident.
The Pacers at the
against
loading
the
dock.
Pacers, and you see the red laser dot, and the head of security for the Pacers says that had to come from a gun. And Ja was reportedly in the car from which the red laser dots were emanating, right? It's just bad look, bad look, bad look. Gun association, gun association, gun association, and then visible gun association dangling the gun by the butt end of the gun.
Correct.
Okay, so what does the NBA do as far as conduct unbecoming? Because these leagues, as you well know about the league you played in, what they care the most about is the image of the league. It's everything. Yep. Right?
Well, I don't know what they call it in the NBA, but they call it in the NFL protecting the shield. Protect the shield at all costs.
Okay.
NFL, that's the most important thing to those 32. Not the 1,500, 1,600 players that play in it, that NFL shield. And the advertising dollars and the broadcasting dollars that shield brings in.
Okay. So for sneaker sales, you can argue, oh, that's good. Street cred is good. But for a whole lot of other sales that the NBA leans on, depends on, it's lifeblood of the whole league, it's not good at all.
I'm sure, Skip, I'm sure Nike had internal conversations.
At some point,
It's like, okay, what do we do? Do we terminate? Because we've seen them terminate contracts. Do we suspend? Do we put him on a probation period? Do we call him in and talk to him and his representative, say any further incidences like this, and this contract is going to be null and void? They're having There's no question in my mind that they're having conversation because it's too big of a situation for them not to have conversations about this.
Yeah. So my next question is, in 4 more games, will we then be told it's going to be at least 4 more games? Is that how we're going to do the quote-unquote suspension?
Probably, Skip, I don't think the NBA really wants to suspend Ja because, as you mentioned, he's the face of the Grizzlies. He's one of the faces of the NBA. And so maybe by the Memphis Grizzlies doing what they're doing, it will lessen the blow, and the NBA will say, you know what, I think that's enough. Be it 6 games, 8 games, 12 games, or how many games. There's probably 20 games left in the season. Gilbert Arenas got 50 games for what he did.
Yep.
So, obviously, and you don't want 50 games, Skip, because that's the playoffs, and that bleeds into next year. I think the NBA wants to try to put this behind them as soon as they possibly can. So, by the Memphis Grizzlies taking the steps that they're taking, maybe the NBA says, okay, that is enough. But don't think the NBA is just like wash their hands with this and they're sitting on their hands and hoping this goes away. Because they punishment, and they want to levy some level of punishment, Skip, because they don't want anybody else to do this. That's what punishment is meant to do. Not only punish the offender, but to deter others from doing said act.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to repeat what I've said the last couple of times we've dealt with this. I'm still holding out hope that because Ja demonstrated a year ago on the basketball court that he could win Most Improved Player by hard work off the court, by looking in the mirror and saying, I got to fix that, and I got to improve that, and I got to be way better over there at that.
Okay.
He became a much better free throw shooter. He became a much better three-point shooter, and he upped his scoring average by 5 points. These are all big, significant games. Like he was a 30% three-point shooter, and he shot 34. And you say, well, that's not great. It's a quantum leap from 30% over 70-odd games to 34%. The point is, because he demonstrated that to me, and I keep trying to be a fan of his, it seems like he's got the capacity, he has the internal ability to look in the mirror again and say, off the court, I got to become the most improved player.
Yes.
I got to fix all the things that are wrong in my life. He showed that ability.
Skip, I think he came in the NBA at the right time because we already know David Stern would have shot him down. Adam Silver is more of a player's commissioner. He's going to talk to these guys. David Stern dropped the hammer and then talk to you after he dropped the hammer because if I'm not mistaken, he suspended Melo. And Melo said, Coach, he said, Commissioner, why you do me like this? He said, you want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA? He said, you're a corporation now. You're a business. Well, I need you to act accordingly.
Remember, David Stern presided over an early period where the league was failing.
Yeah.
It was just failing because
Too much fighting was going on.
There was just too much going on, and there was too much extracurricular, and there was it was more football, basketball,
Right.
and there was too much controversy going on.
Right.
And he cracked down. And he
Right.
said, we got to
change that image.
We got to change it completely and radically, and
Yeah.
there's only one way for me to do it, is with
Right.
an iron fist. I'm going to
Correct.
drop the iron
Right.
fist.
Right.
Okay? Adam Silver can be tough when it's time to be tough.
Right.
I'm surprised he has not spoken out yet, but I think he's trying to let this situation play out
Yes.
a little bit more. And again, the key to me is getting help. If he knows that behind the scenes, Ja is actually getting help,
Right.
well, then maybe he's hands off, where he
Yes.
says, okay, I'm going to let this play.
Yeah.
And I'll let Memphis do the quote unquote dirty work.
I agree.
They'll be the ones who keep saying it's going to be a few more games.
Who
right?
knows? They might. Maybe they're in contact with the NBA.
Yep.
But it seems to me Adam Silver is a lot more methodical, a lot more deliberate in his actions.
Yep.
He doesn't rush to do anything, but he does listen to the players. He's listened to the players when it came to Donald Sterling.
He did.
He listened to the players.
I mean, that was his first act of
As soon
business.
as, he's like, damn,
Yeah.
this is what I get dumped in my lap as soon as I become commissioner.
Yep.
And then we saw what happened in the bubble skip with the George Floyd situation.
Yep.
And I thought he did a great job of
did.
handling that,
He did.
listening to the players, what they needed, what they wanted.
Yep.
I thought he did a great job. And for me, I think he's right now the gold standard of commissioners of all the 4 major sports in North America. He's the gold standard in which all these other commissioners should look to and say, oh, well, Adam, that's what you think about this, how you handle that, Adam, the way you handle that, we really like that.
Yep.
And so for me, I think he's handling it the right way. He's not doing a whole lot of talking. They're dotting their I's, crossing their T's, and whatever punishment, they might not even punish him. As you said, it might be deemed enough that the Memphis Grizzlies has taken this as far as they need to go.
Yep.
Ja, hey, I'm gonna call him in though, Skip. Oh, you absolutely. He coming to New York.
Yeah.
And he's gonna sit across from the table like you and I sitting across from each other, and we're gonna have a real heart-to-heart conversation.
Yeah.
Don't come back in here.
Good point.
Don't come back in here.
I'm hoping for the best outcome here.
Yeah. Next time I see you, you better
Yeah.
have me a Harry and David basket. It'll be a nice gift basket.
Yeah, I got it.
Hopefully this is a good wake-up call for him, and it ends here, gentlemen. Well, there are a lot of games unfolding on the court tonight, and one of those, Warriors-Grizzlies. How heated is it going to get, gentlemen? Plus, how concerned should the Suns be about Kevin Durant's
Very.
injury? Skip and Shannon dive in when we come back.